for the past several months, the integrity of Dream's Minecraft speedrun has been constantly hanging under a giant question mark. The saga was lengthy and complicated, with many people having confronted with Dream and equally as many people supporting him throughout the scandal. A Harvard astrophysicist has brought in the matter. Quasi-scientific papers have been written about it on both sides, and after months of delay and public confusion, Dream eventually came out with an apology, admitting that he did in fact cheat in establishing his speedrun record. Sort of. What are the implications of this? How was it affecting Dream's credibility? And how does all of this reveals about his speedrun community? We're going to look at all this in a second. Now, before we dive into what happened with Dream, we have to understand why speedruns are so important to such a large group of people on the internet. Since the dawn of humanity, people have been drawn to competition, going back way further than one might expect. Cave painting revealed that human sprinting and wrestling dated back as far as 15,000 years ago. Anthropologist Michael Scavone conducted study on the evolution of sport within early human settlements. It is that believed that once humanity has made a shift from hunting and gathering to farming, that one would have previously been hunters now no longer has a setting in which utilize their sportive strength. And these guys are like, it looks like running after a buffalo to feed my family is no longer a relevant occupation. But I still feel like running. Want to run to that tree over there to see who's the fastest? And that's pretty much how sports were invented. Later on, the ancient Olympic Games started in Greece, and competition began to a systematic celebration that we as cheered and eagerly expected everywhere for hours. Although there were no such thing as gold medals in 3,000 years ago, Olympic champions were praised and worshipped in their communities back home. So you see, the desire of being recognized for the top achievement and the admiration toward the best performers have been interwoven all across the evolution of the world. It was only natural once video game took over the world that people would take this competitive spirit and bring it over to the virtual world. It wasn't long before gamers started finding ways to complete games as fast as possible, whether it's Donkey Kong, Legend of Zelda, Dark Souls, or most popularly today, Minecraft. The speedrunning community is a good group of very passionate and creative people who somehow manage to always one-up each other, earning the respect of millions of people. Watching someone do a speedrun can keep you on the edge of your seat because it takes skill to take focus. As soon as someone beats the world record for the fastest speedrun, it only sets a higher bar for the next underdog to attempt to jump over. Speedrun is no joke. So what happens when the next speedrun records get disputed as fraud? Now, we've talked about Dream Remarkable accessible on YouTube before. If you haven't seen that video, I encourage you to click up here to watch it. While tapping into many different branches of Minecraft, one of its avenues was to take a stab at speedrun. Now, there are many ways to speedrun a game. There's glitches you can take advantage of in order to bypass certain steps of the game. In Minecraft, you can choose a specific version of the world you're playing, aka the seed, which will give you valuable prior knowledge to the location of certain items. As based off all of these choices, there are a large variety of speedrun categories. Dream chose to do a hard one. Any percent random seed glitches. This means all he has to work with in his favor before starting is his experience and skill. But after achieving a spectacular result at the ending with the 5th fastest completion in the category on speedrun.com, the website moderators started discussing whether Dream's achievement was legitimate. You see, in order to beat the game, you need Ender Pearl, which are very hard to come by. In his speedrun, Dream was getting them at a suspiciously fast rate. When confronted about this accusation, Dream initially came out with a document saying that he did not cheat in his speedrun because it would get more views on content. This prompted 2 months of investigation by the Minecraft speedrun team, who in December 2020 published their report in the form of a 29-page document full of depth analysis and mathematical calculations. What they found that there was Dream's so-called luck has a chance of occurring in 1 in a 7.5 trillion. That's 500 times less likely than you win the lottery. But Dream didn't give up on his cause. He hired a Harvard graduate who's practicing astrophysicist and is an expert in statistics and astrophysics. Now, I'm going to be honest here, but I don't know how astrophysics differs from regular statistics. Just by putting the prefix astro makes the whole thing more tense. The actual physicist, a counter argument to the speedrun mod story, studying the probabilities a percentage very hard. Extreme low probabilities event happening all the time. Based on the calculation, in the odds of Dream actually cheating were just 0.00013% of the number put forth by the mods. But here's the thing, even with such small percentage of the 7.5 trillion is just 1 in a million, which did not at all display the cheating allegation. Furthermore, the document would pick apart math enthusiasts on Reddit and inaccuracies were revealed. So it all became as a he said, she said situation that happened for months, until one fateful morning when Dream finally spoke out about it, this time in a much more different manner. I feel like this is something important I need to talk about. I've been very welded with for a while, and it all just decided it'll probably be best just to let it out so I can feel relaxed a bit. I'm writing this in my bath at 4 a.m. on my phone, so forgive me for any mistake or confusion. That's going to be the weirdest way to start an apology. Just put your phone down, finish your bath, go rest your brain, and start writing again in the morning. When you think of it more clearly, but apart from the immature tone and self-victimism that Dream was going through, it was perfectly understandable. He was basically saying that when faced with the threat of losing everything that he built over this drama, he got so scared that he was unable to consider whether or not he cheated or not. So he decided he didn't and just spoke about it. After considering this, I ended finding that I had actually been using disallowed modification for the casual games, where he was taking advantage of. I grew more and more frustrated, convinced I was targeted due to the fact I was a YouTuber. I cared more about defending myself than about figuring out what was actually going wrong. I shot myself in the foot. And as a result, all of Dream's speedrun records have been recently stripped down from the Hall of Fame, even the ones that he claimed didn't have modifications on. Now I don't know whether or not it's fair or not, but I guess that's what happens when you react out of your fear, not based out of your rational thought. The speedrun moderators may as well have been negative biased against Dream for being as successful as he is, and Dream himself didn't wield his authority well at all. One could argue that he even used influence and impressionable fans as weapons. So when you brought both lines, reaction, it is my opinion that Dream has a lot to learn about his position of power and responsibility. And it's all equal importantly that the speedrun community to just form an opinion against someone or disqualify them for having a large platform. I also think that important to note that Dream has never set out to be a speedrunner. He's a Minecraft entertainer, not a speedrunner. So while the entire episode does not affect the way he's being perceived, I don't see why it should define him as a content creator for the rest of his career. But what do you guys think of this opinion? Who's more at fault here? Is it Dream or the speedrun mods? Let me know down in the comments below.